Well, 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 well. Looks like Twitter's got some new rules, some new guidelines to get a little taste of that sweet ad revenue that they've been dangling over everybody's head. On top of that, though, as with what appears to be bad news, I've got some good news. In fact, sort of good news at least. And that it is now being reported that Twitter has been fined $350,000 for daring to protect Trump's Twitter account and not turn it over to the government. Now, this is something that Apple routinely does without warrant, makes people get warrants and things of that nature. But let's talk a little bit about the bad before we get into the good news. X will be rolling out sensitivity settings for advertisers. Brands will now be able to select the preferred sensitivity for what type of content they want their ads to appear next to. Now, I want to talk about some of the reaction to this. Some of it, I think, as somebody who is an advertiser, right, I understand these settings. These are settings that already exist on YouTube and everywhere else. So some people are worried about the wording. The wording was not great. You have sensitivity settings reduce adjacency to varying levels of sensitive content on the For You timeline for your brand's sensitivity threshold. Essentially, this is a tool that advertisers have so that it can be, so you can say, well, I don't want my content, my ads to appear next to these type of things, right? So you can choose conservative, which is probably I would have used the word like safest or something like that. But anyway, people were a little triggered, like, oh, why did they use conservative? Are you going to ban conservatives? No, that's not what it means. But it does tell us something more. So it says, well, this is what most advertisers will pick, by the way. Shows ads alongside limited content for brands with strict sensitivity levels. You could have just called it strict. Avoidance example, targeted hate speech, spicy contests, gratuitous bad stuff, excessive profanity, obscenity, spam, or usage of drugs. Now this is essentially what YouTube would call advertiser friendly, family friendly, right? I only want my ads to show along to, the top tier accounts that are like, Mr. Beast and cat accounts, stuff like that. And then the standard ad shows alongside a reduced range of content for brands with moderate sensitivity threshold. You avoid targeted hate speech, spicy content, or excessive profanity. Essentially, everyone's going to pick one of the first two. Then relaxed, which isn't open yet. Essentially, more maximum reach, but still ruling out hate speech or spicy content. People are reacting to this, obviously wondering, well, what the heck? And I think rightfully so, if you want to earn money on this platform, right, you would like to know where the heck you even stand. If you want to earn money on Twitter, which, everyone wouldn't mind a few bucks a month, at least to offset the cost of Blue or something like that, you got to know where your account stands. Essentially, what these new advertising rules denote is that there are indicators on accounts and tweets that would designate quote unquote hate speech or mean words or whatever, this kind of stuff, the exact same kind of stuff that Twitter was deboosting before. Now, back in December, 8 months ago, exactly 8 months and a day ago, okay, Elon said, Twitter is working on a software update that will show your true account status so you know clearly if you've been shadow banned and the reason why and how to appeal. That was 8 months ago, and we've seen no reply. We've seen no update on this. Because what would be nice is knowing if we actually, if our account's being shadow banned, why. What I don't understand is Elon told us, by the way, that shadow banning was going to go away. I mean, he lied about that, or at least he hasn't followed through. If I put it maybe the most, possible. if I mean the most charitable, he just hasn't had a chance to follow through yet. People are still getting shadow banned. People are still getting suspended. People are, all the same stuff that Twitter 1.0 had exists on Twitter 2.0. The only difference is Elon Musk handpicked about 7 or 8 accounts that he regularly replies to, and so he boosts quote-unquote conservative accounts. You see, X remains committed to brand safety and will continue to build more controls for advertisers. Today, we're thrilled to announce our extended partnership with Integral Ads. Integral Ads, can I read? To provide additional pre-bid brand safety and suitability solutions to help advertisers achieve their unique suitability needs. But that's not all. We're also encountering new capabilities, sensitivity settings, we just talked about, and enhanced block lists for advertisers. You see, wow, this is BS. So Twitter encourages people to buy Twitter Blue so you can monetize your account. Then they announced that they are creating sensitivity filters so advertisers can rig the system against people they don't like. Well, I've got to be honest with you. This is something that exists on literally every advertising platform. It probably exists on Rumble too. If you're going to sell advertising, you have to be able to give people a chance to say, I don't want my ad to appear next to the account. Even when I run my coffee brand coffee ads, for example, I don't do any sensitivity training. I don't care what the sensitivity of the video is. I care about the creator. So it's like if I ran ads on Donut Operator, for example, I know his videos are probably going to be, yellow, but I'm okay with that because I know I want to reach his audience. And so, smart advertisers will still advertise on spicy accounts as long as it's a positive ROI. That's just the way it is. But it is interesting that we're talking about, hate speech and all. The more that they look, I want X/Twitter to come back and get a lot of advertisers back. The more advertisers on Twitter, the more money my peers can make. Obviously, I don't really have Twitter as something that is a source of income for me. I use Rumble and YouTube and BitChute and Odyssey. I'm a video guy. People don't really want to watch my videos on YouTube. They don't go viral. Short videos go viral. And so, they're working. My concern is that obviously you're going to have a situation now where accounts have essentially a social credit score. And the question is, are we going to be demonetizing, deboosting people based on that? But then on the bright side, Twitter was fined $350,000 for missing a deadline to comply with a search warrant for records related to Donald Trump's account per newly unsealed opinion. DC Circuit affirmed section plus rejected Twitter's opposition to a non-disclosure order. So essentially they were allegedly protecting Trump. Breaking: Biden DOJ fines Elon Musk $350,000 after he refuses to give them access to Trump's Twitter account. Obama judge Beryl Howell held Twitter in contempt and imposed a 6-figure fine for not turning over Trump's Twitter account to Biden's special counsel so Jack Smith could look at Trump's deleted tweets. A Biden judge upheld Howell on appeal. Joke country. Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting to me. The district court was issued a search warrant in a criminal case directing appellant Twitter Inc. to produce information to the government related to Twitter's account, Donald Trump. The search warrant was served along with the NDA order that prohibited Twitter from notifying anyone about the existence of the contents of the warrant. So they sent a warrant to Twitter that we said, hey, we need access to Trump's account. And then Twitter said, nope, not going to do that. And then they said, you can't even tell Trump that we had this executed. That seems odd. It seems like you'd have to notice people, or you'd have to notify them that you gave access to their account to the government, right? In this appeal, Twitter argues that the non-disclosure order violated the First Amendment and Stored Communications Act, that the district court should have stayed its enforcement of the search warrant until after Twitter's objections to the non-disclosure order were resolved. and that district court abused its discretion by holding Twitter in contempt and imposing the sanction. We affirm the district court in all respects, of course. So essentially, Twitter said, bro, we're not giving you access to this. We think it's a violation of your First Amendment right, his First Amendment rights. Twitter said no. You see, Matt Gaetz says, the FBI pressures Twitter to censor the president's son's computer story. The DOJ rummages through Trump's Twitter account. You're supposed to believe they haven't taken sides. He also claims that is interference. I think it's very, very odd. I mean, these tweets are out there, right? Why would you need that? I'm not exactly sure. His tweets were all public, right? Special count obtained a search warrant for Trump's Twitter account. Jack Smith is checking Trump's DMs. Very odd. Definitely very, very odd. I suppose in a court case of this magnitude, maybe. But I don't support this. I don't support any of the prosecution going on against Trump right now. Based on everything I've seen, perhaps there's things I haven't seen. I don't live on the internet watching mainstream media spin on everything. And it's going to be very, very odd to see this play out. But I do support them. I should point out that they ultimately did cave and send it to him anyway. So moral victory, I guess, but they gave it to him anyway. So I don't know how to feel about it. X and Twitter is quickly becoming just another big tech thing, in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.